everyone, welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to Disco Elysium. Where we left off, girl, we went through that haunted room down here, right? Yeah, down here. Into the spookiness. And now, we found this lady. So we're gonna talk to her and do some other stuff. I have zero plans, zero ideas, but that's the kind of detective we are. We just go with the flow, apparently. So if you do enjoy this video, remember to like and subscribe, leave a comment, and all that stuff. And we'll just get into it. Why do you turn this flashlight off? Who just stands there without the flashlight on? That's spooky. And now you don't need the flashlight, so why you got it on? That's the real question. We'll just put that there for right now. I forgot we're walking around and just... what is this outfit? Alright. Hello?
Hello, I'm Nia.
A bird-like woman.
Did you try knocking on my window? I must have missed you. I've been listening to my Milius. So what kind of die are you looking for?
Could this be the malicious entity? Perhaps it's wise to go along with this masquerade for now.
She definitely isn't a malicious entity.
She's got a direct view to the backyard. You should interrogate her about the lynching.
You must have me confused with someone else.
Then how did you get inside? By the south entrance? You know what? It doesn't even matter. What matters is that you're finally here. Let's talk dice. Did you have something specific in mind?
Why are you asking about dice?
I'm a novelty dice maker. Tell me the name of your role-playing system and I'll make the die you need. That's why you're here,
dice.
Yes?
Role-playing games? You know the one made by Fortress Accident. Does that count?
Maybe I'm not really sure why I'm here. No, I was looking for something else. And squint your eyes mysteriously answers. I'm not interested. No, well, actually. Sure, I like
Very
playing
good.
games.
My rate is 10 real per set, unless you want something really unusual. Take a look around and see if there's any particular stone you want to use.
I do watch dice makers on
It
TikTok.
almost looks as if the stones and dice are a natural part of the room, growing out of the shells like stalagmites. No falsehoods are present. She's a novelty dice maker and doesn't have anything to hide. Ask what you need.
How did you become a dice maker?
How did I become one? It was a business decision. I was a regular jeweler at first, but that's an unfocused field with too much competition. Some of my friends were role players. They asked me to make some polyhedral dice out of cobalt. That was my first order. I grew it from there. Not especially. I like working with rare materials and a steady pay. And role players as customers, they're nice people.
Some of those nice people have big bucks to spend on novelty items.
What do you know about the man? No, well, okay, I'd like to order some dice.
Tell me what you have in mind.
Do you know the World Unearthed setting? I want to die for that. Tell me about the most extraordinary die. I'm sorry, I can't actually know what die I want. Just normal die. For me, I'm looking for something to help me with my work. What about this game?
Ah, yes. Fortress Accident. It's too bad they never finished their game. The Wiro Untethered die is a variation of a standard role-playing die. Only, instead of plants, it uses motives of ice and death. And loss, of course.
Ice, death, loss. Sounds like you.
Does it?
I'm thinking something made from alligator jawbone, cast in black resin. The reptile bone is as white as ice and dead as, well, death. For 7 real, I could have it ready in 8 hours.
It's a
Great.
deal.
See you in 8 hours then. Was there anything else?
Where Where are we anyway? What is this
We're
place?
inside the chimney of an old central furnace. It's
Oh.
strange, I know.
It actually is pretty sick, to be honest.
But when I arrived here, all the other rooms were taken, so I had to build myself a makeshift home. Besides, I don't really have to pay any rent here, so that's a plus.
That's sick.
Plaisance was right. There's an entity living in the chimney. You should ask her about the curse.
Creative.
True. I've heard this place is cursed. Did you know that people call it the doomed commercial area?
I've heard the stories, but I don't think those stories are true.
That lady, is that her name? Placence? I don't know how to say her name. She's convinced this place is swarming with malicious energies.
Plaisance, the bookshop
Plaisance,
lady?
Yeah.
I've heard that her business is doing rather well. Have the energies spared her somehow?
That one.
Oh, right. But it's not just the bookstore that's still up and running. What about the whirling in rags? Some people say it's part of the building complex.
Yeah, it doesn't
And
look that
then
cursed.
there is me. I've been here for 14
years.
selling novelty dice to role-playing enthusiasts. Not exactly a million-real business idea, yet somehow I've survived despite the talk of malicious energies. Strange, isn't it?
Maybe it's just because she's so talented that she's been able to woo the curse.
That's not it. There's inconsistencies in this
I
so-called
was
curse.
just about to ask, what do you think? Do you think the curse is real?
Absolutely
Time has
not.
come to face the source. Fear not, for the forces of the universe are supporting you in this psychic quest.
I think I still might be now. I'm starting to see that there's no curse, only business decisions and natural market fluctuations. Yeah, that one.
Exactly. Truth is always so disappointingly mundane and boring. But I'm glad we got this sorted out. Anything else I can help you with today?
Yes.
That's all she has to say on the subject. She's been thorough and truthful, as far as we can see.
What does she know about the lynching, though? What do you know about the man who was lynched behind the roaring
Nothing
rags?
really. I didn't know him.
The lieutenant looks at his notebook, then the woman under the large window.
Your window looks directly onto the courtyard. You're saying you didn't see or hear anything unusual last Sunday evening?
I'm sorry, detective, but as you know, I usually have my headphones on when I'm working. It shuts out most of the daily ruckus behind my window.
What do you mean by daily
Well,
ruckus?
there's always something going on in the Whirling's backyard. During daytime, there are usually those kids.
Oh my
And
god.
lately, I've been seeing a lot of drunk workers hanging about. Must be because of the strike.
She's heard of the murder, but did not see it, sire.
Not
But
sire.
I never saw anyone during that fateful Sunday night, I'm afraid.
And you never took your eyes off the work to look out the
I might
window.
have, but in this case, all I would have seen is my own reflection staring back from the darkness.
That's kind of true. Kind of true.
It's light here, but dark in the yard at night.
It's really hard to make anything out in the yard when it's dark outside. Besides, I rarely get up to look out the window when I'm in the zone.
Do you often work on
It's
Sunday
an odd
nights?
profession, making dice for people, but I like it, and I prefer doing this to sitting at home.
It does seem like actually a fun job. I wish I had a fun job. I see. Thanks.
She nods.
Anything else, officer?
Do you know what happened to the other tenants? Everyone else
More or
is
less.
gone.
Are you interested in anyone specific?
Oh god, there's so many people. There used to be a hair salon here.
I think it was called Androgynous Orlando or something similar. They weren't a big hit around here. Turns out that working class men don't like genderless haircuts. They're scared of that word.
I don't know when this set plays, but they're still scared of it.
A bit of experimenting every now and then isn't bad.
Yeah, they should be
I
open more mind
guess
open.
it just wasn't the time yet.
What happened to the gym?
It wasn't merely a gym, it was Artemitep's Boxing Club, a community project created to steer at-risk youth away from drugs and crime.
Maybe that's what Kuno needs. A community center boxing.
Kuno? Who's Kuno?
The little ginger gremlin who looks like... who likes to devour dead bodies.
You mean the kid with the sailor's mouth?
Yes.
Yes, I've heard him yelling profanities in the backyard.
He's atrocious.
I think it would take more than a gym to help that kid.
How did it work?
It didn't. If anything, it made the youth situation in Martinaise even worse. At some point, someone started a rumor that the punching bag downstairs was full of amphetamines.
Jesus.
Eventually, the coalition took away the funding and the club went bankrupt. This was a few years ago. It's gotten much more peaceful around the plaza ever since.
What's up with the broken windows?
This one's a mess. There used to be a company that promised to repair windows 24 hours a day. What could go wrong with this one, right? Turns out, the business was actually set up as a front for an illicit group that was producing snuff milias. Who would have guessed?
Oh my god, the druggies.
What's the snuff milieu?
Drugs?
And they never cleaned up the debris either. Now it's just littering the hallway and I have no idea how to get rid of it on my own.
What is that?
It's a Sub Rosa radio station that broadcasts real murders with real victims.
Huh?
Some people pay good money to get off on it.
Oh, I thought it was like drugs. Like as in snuff. Oh my goodness gracious. That's crazy, dude.
Nothing changes in her tone as she says that, as if it's just another piece of information to lay out for the world.
It's crazy,
Don't
dog.
worry, the ICP has a separate division that deals exclusively with unlicensed sub-roses. This isn't our problem.
I know.
Good
but
luck with that. It's not easy catching those perpetrators.
do they make stuffed animals?
You mean Mr. Fabron, the taxidermist? No, he mostly
Jesus,
just did drugs.
Everyone does drugs around here.
Anything else?
Mannequins.
There used to be a fashion atelier here, but I have forgotten the head designer's name. They were doing well for a couple of years, until the insect rights activists came.
Insects' rights?
Mhm. The atelier produced a certain collection that used chitin among the materials. Apparently chitin is made in the Occident, where it's extracted from beetle wings. And you know how all kinds of political movements are big in the Occident. The activists shut down the biggest chitin supplier, which of course caused the price to skyrocket. And, naturally, all the most fashionable tastemakers refused to be seen in chitin from then on. The atelier went bankrupt before they could finish the collection.
But insects don't have any brains or feelings. Oh god. I don't know. I don't like bugs, dude. Don't. I do kill bugs a lot, so I can't just be like, oh, poor bugs. For real, for real. Insects don't have brains.
Actually, insects do have brains, but yes, I understand what you're saying. I think the protesters took it a little too far.
As she shifts around, you notice several dead flies on the windowsill in front of her. Legs up. They're not moving.
Throw them in the trash.
Anything else?
Rotoblades and
They were made by a
skis.
company called
Skis.
Slipstream. After they pivoted from making rotor blades to skis, their chief executive took off on a vacation with all their money.
Well, everybody's just corrupt is what's happening here.
Honestly, I think it's quite funny. I think he's still sending out holiday transmissions from Tulula or Tiumotiri or Hashtkor or wherever he is.
What do they
The
say?
usual, I imagine. That he's been thinking up all kinds of new business plans and can't wait to get started on them just as soon as he returns.
How many years has he been on vacation, my dog?
Men like that are a curse.
Sure, but Slipstream is history now. All their remaining assets got seized by the bailiffs in 47. I have no idea why those skis and blades are still lying around in the house. Not much use now, I guess.
Machine?
Fortress Accident, the radio game studio.
Oh, yeah.
They were an interesting bunch. We talked about role-playing systems every now and then. Once, I even saw two of them get into fisticuffs over Wirral.
Not the
They certainly
fisticuffs.
took their work very seriously, even if they seemed to be chronically liberal with their schedules.
What does that mean?
The usual. They ran out of money and couldn't get the project done on time.
What went wrong?
I did hear them talking at times. They seemed to believe they were historical individuals on some grand quest.
She
They're
sounds
delusional.
almost mocking when she says that.
Must have
That's
been
what
an ego
I thought.
trip.
Because when the money started to run out, they just began to complain a lot about capitalism.
Oof.
You know, how the markets are rigged to keep up new businesses and so on. In the end, they just didn't get it done. They didn't have enough willpower to produce something truly historic and to show up to work on time.
Not showing up to work on time. I can't stand it. I can't stand it when people don't come to work at time. Oh my god. It drives me crazy. I deal with that every day. It's not hard. Yeah, I would have
Not the
supported them.
wisest decision. You would have lost all your savings.
True.
The result is 1 on a 20-sided die.
Sir, not a nat
The
one.
dice is black and filled with little silvery flakes, like snowfall.
Anything else?
There was a terrifying taxidermied bear in
Oh
the cellar.
boy, the fabled Revachol ICT. You're in for a treat here. The place was owned by two guys who had some rather innovative ideas about marketing. The bear was one of them. Now ask me about their other ideas.
But the bear's fucking terrifying, first of all.
Indeed, what were the other ideas?
Yeah, what
There
are
was
they?
really just one. And it involved picking out the prettiest girls in the neighborhood and paying them 20 cents per hour to man the booth.
Only 20
and by
cents.
man the booth, I mean slump behind the counter with a face that could maim you if you ever dared to disturb their bored magazine browsing.
Fritta does the same thing.
Yeah, that girl. Yeah, that girl.
Employing silky teenage girls is a widespread practice, yes. Unfortunately, they always come in packs. I'm talking about acne-ridden girlfriends and gorilla-like boyfriends loitering near the shop. At least that's what happened with Revachol ICT. And they already had the bear.
What about the bear?
The bear.
Didn't work
Of
out.
course not. The
What do you
bear was
mean?
terrifying. No one wants ice cream guarded by a hostile apex predator.
True.
To make matters worse, the fridge didn't work too well either, and half the ice cream came out malformed and partially melted.
It should have been a cute bear. Like a little bear. Like a little bear with a balloon or something. Oh my god, I could just see it now. A little bear with his little straw hat. He has a little balloon and a bow tie, and he gives you ice cream. That'd be cute.
Eventually, Revachol ICT lost the price war to its rival, Glacé 5000. Glacé 5000 sold caramel sundaes for only 5 cents a piece, out of regular fridges.
I
You
unplugged
did
it.
what?
I murdered it with my own bare hands and laid it to rest as my trophy now.
Really? You broke it? What a shame. It was a terrifying beast, but I was fond of it.
I'm
the
sorry.
taxidermist who made it said it was his vision
It was a
beast.
real bear.
He said he met his vision beast while high on desiccants. He called it Megatherion.
It was a real bear? Wait a minute. I thought it was like a plastic
Sounds cool.
mold.
Why is everyone doing drugs
That's
in
what
this
I'm talking
place?
about.
Even the taxidermist?
Megatherion, a mega wild beast.
What's a mega wild beast?
It's an imaginary beast that guides you through life
Ain't no
by
way.
telling you to do more drugs, mostly.
I don't do drugs. I don't do
Very
drugs.
good. You shouldn't do them. You're a police officer after all.
Yes, 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 because I'm a police
Anyway,
officer.
now you know the story of the fallen ice cream empire.
Why is everyone on drugs? There's got to be some conspiracy. These are lower class people, and the government's feeding us drugs or
Little
something.
sparkling embers under the window.
Anything else? Another failed business, perhaps? I've been here for a long time.
I found the building intercom, but it's not working.
Oh, right. I hope you didn't try to ring me. I think none of those doorbells work, including mine. I'm still in the middle of connecting the wires. Sorry about the confusion.
The
about that
doorbell with
face?
the empty name card must belong to her then.
Yeah, that one.
It can't be true. They don't work here anymore. They've been gone for years. Are you sure it was Slipstream SEA? Was it a woman? Maybe it was Plaisance from the bookstore.
She said she was from there.
Tricentennial Electrics? It used to be a major electric company 100 years
What?
ago. Are you sure it wasn't just some kids playing a prank on you?
So it's a ghost?
No, it was something else. It was eerie.
Is it really a ghost?
It was too real to be just a prank. Either we're dealing with a professional actress, or...
No, it was something
Pranks
eerie
can
then.
be eerie. Oh, the kids these days. We were just one of them, and now they're terrorizing us. No solidarity.
Yeah, that one.
Why would Slipstream SEA have a 100-year-old recording as their doorbell message? Doesn't make any sense. I'm still convinced it was nothing more than some elaborate prank.
I better
My money
get
is on
information on
electrical
this.
anomaly. I've heard of these, especially in an old building like this.
What does that even mean, sir? What does that even mean? An electrical anomaly? Like, there's just a recording of their voices lost in time and space, caught in the electrical flow? And then it happens more than once? That doesn't make not a goddamn lick of sense. Zero. Maybe if you think that that can happen once, but twice? And if it was a recording, because she said the same thing, she doesn't think that there would be a recording. So if there's a recording, it can't be an electrical anomaly. If there's a it has to be a recording because it didn't respond back and it said the same thing. I don't think it may be a prank, but I think someone has set it up this way. For what reason? For what reason? What reason would it be? What reason is there that recording is like that? Why is there a recording of it? Because, like, it was like a lady who recognized someone that she loved and was like, why'd you come back? And all that kind of stuff. So it's a recording of an incident. I don't know what's happening, but it's not an electrical anomaly. It is a recording. Why it's on there, I have no idea. And if I don't find out why, I'm fighting the people who made this game. These Delta Pinball.
Right, it used to be a gaming arcade. This is an ancient failure, before my time. I'm not surprised, however. My advice, don't base your business on a fad. Hypnotism, fluorography, trick track, especially pinball.
Pinball's a fad? You can pinball is on your computer right now. I don't know if it's still on your computer. I don't know if they put pinball on Windows anymore. Back in the day, though, that was that shit.
Agreed. Pinball is the worst.
You're the one with the
That's
empty
right.
name.
I haven't even written my name there. As I said, it's quite useless right now. It doesn't work yet.
I was wondering about the Whirling Rats. Is it part of the same building
You
complex?
could say so. Both houses were built at the same time and under the East Delta Commerce Center project.
Okay.
That explains why you can call the whirling from the intercom.
You can?
Albeit, I doubt that anyone responds.
If the whirling is part of the same building, then it's part of the Dune commercial area. The darkness of this place is there, too.
I have a few more questions about the
Sure,
building.
I'm listening.
About the
I'm
intercom.
pretty sure it still doesn't work, but sure, I'm
Actually, I had
listening. Good.
another question.
I hope it clarified things a bit. What else? I'm listening.
Okay.
Good. I
Well, I
hope
don't
it
have any.
clarified things a bit. What else?
I mean, we might as well do this one.
You feel nothing. If anything, it's uncomfortably warm in here.
Leave it
She
at that.
has begun to idly clean one of her carving
not taking
tools
my
with
clothes
a
off.
dirty kerchief. The tool's sharp edge shining in the light of her desk lamp.
I guess we'll just leave. Well, that just left me with more questions, to be honest. I'll put that out here. And make our way back. There's nothing here, right? Yeah. Why does it sound like that in here now? I don't appreciate it, to be honest. Get me out. Get me out. Get me out. Can we try this again?
The barbell waits patiently on the floor, like a dog for its master.
Is this familiar because I'm a
No,
weightlifter?
It's not that. It's the stale smell of rubber, the squeaky sound of sneakers, your bruised knee against the mat, and a whistle. Then the feeling is gone.
I was a wrestler?
It's just a memory from another life, when you were young and fit.
So apparently I was a wrestler. Let me out of here. Let me out of this eerie building of bad business plans. Okay, ma'am. It's not haunted. Ish.
You're alive and well. Don't keep me waiting now. What's in there? In that dark sarcophagus?
Dark
Yes,
sarcophagus.
yes. How was it?
Tell her how ghastly it was. You know it's what she wants to hear.
Yeah, it's just dumb.
But what else did you find? Did anything survive? No, of course not. Have you located the entity?
Yeah.
A novelty dice maker?
Yeah!
Well, spit it out. Why does she need the dice? For some kind of sorcery?
Ma'am, are you on crack?
Sometimes they use the ankle bones of sheep.
Are you on crack? She's not
I
involved.
don't understand. If it's not her, then where is the source of the doom? How did she explain the curse?
Just don't say you don't have any answer yet. The uncertainty is killing her. To hell with it. Perchance you ought to just lie, sire.
She's not cursed because there's too many inconsistencies. The source of the taxidermist shop, he became involved with the art darker than taxidermy and brought the void spirits down. Honestly, I don't have any answers yet. There's another entity more malignant pulling the strings in Martinaise. Perhaps my travels will cross paths with it. Yeah.
A third order presence. Yes. I've heard of these triactors. In certain occult literature, that's too dark to dwell on for too long, and definitely
occult
not in the
literature?
presence of my daughter. I understand everything, sir.
You do?
Thank you for your descending into the maelstrom. I will keep fort up here, strengthen the wards, do my best. And if you happen upon the third entity in your travels, may the Lord be with you.
Well, this has been absolutely educational.
Yeah, very.
If we happen on the third presence in our travels, we will certainly come back to tell you.
Yes, the venture continues. In other waters. Darker waters.
Should we get out of here?
Yeah, let's leave. Well, it's only 2 o'clock. Well, let me. Let's put this away. Let's hold our bag in case. Who are you? Working class woman. A good one?
Yes? Hello?
Who are you?
Me? No one. I'm just a working class woman.
Excuse me? Is that your name, ma'am? I asked who you are.
She doesn't really want to be disturbed that much.
I don't care. I'm a
If she's
policeman.
such a working class woman, why isn't she working?
Yeah, why aren't you working?
Not all the time. Right now I'm browsing books. Even a working class woman needs something to read.
Phenomenal.
It is.
I'm a
I know
policeman.
you are.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
You need help from the
What
police? Maybe finding
My
a husband
husband?
missing?
No, he's not.
So where could he
I
be?
don't know. At home now? Out drinking with his friends? working.
Everybody's out drinking or doing drugs.
Where is this going, officer?
So what I'm hearing is you don't really know where your husband is.
But I don't really need to know where my husband is. Not all the time.
Wouldn't you like to?
No.
Oh. Suit yourself. I don't really care if your husband's missing.
Why are we still talking about this? I haven't lost my husband.
Maybe your cockatoo's
I don't mean
missing.
to disrespect, sir, but you are being a bit of a cockatoo here.
For what it's worth, I agree. But cockatoos can't be stopped when they get ladies. It's better to indulge him at this point.
Ma'am, I was asking if your
I don't
cockatoo's
even
missing.
have a cockatoo. And guess what?
What?
It's a trap. Never ever say what.
Okay. Cockatoo's missing. Just want to make
Great.
sure. Just one more question. What do you mean be being a
Nothing.
cockatoo?
Go read up on them if you're so interested. There's a great book in the bookstore.
Maybe you should. What
Ain't
if
no
the
way.
cockatoo is your astral captain? Or your heraldic bird?
Okay.
Wonderful. The store is open.
Maybe your child's
No,
missing.
absolutely not.
So where are they?
Are you a policeman or a nanny?
And Nanny, where are they?
They are not missing, sir.
You know where they are. They're at home, smoking, giving the ladder of vices a chance.
Oh, so they're at
What?
home smoking cigs.
That's just... My daughters are perfectly fine. They're with their friends down in Jamais. There's nothing to worry about.
I don't believe you.
They're almost grown up now anyway. They're past the age they need me protecting them from everything now.
I'm afraid the danger is now greater than ever.
My youngest girl, Jolie, is just shy of 16. Jenny, she is turning 18
Why
next
do we
month.
need to know this?
But we shouldn't even be talking about them.
And what is this dialogue? And you could describe me their appearances, any features that stand out, something that makes identifying a little easier.
Why do you need to know this? Haven't I repeatedly told you that they're not missing? That they're in Jamais, safe and well, at some stupid party?
It's for the investigation. I'm being professional.
There is no investigation here. I can tell you that.
Her hands move over the book covers.
What is
The
this?
tips of her fingers look rough, stained with yellow. It seems like she has spent a lot of time at work, smoking. Another comrade. Years of labor are pressing down on her shoulders. She deserves a hug
I'll
for
give
all the work she's done for mankind.
I'll do it.
You step in and close
That I'm
your
watching.
arms around this foreign body, wandering astray in touch. There's a small movement beneath your hands as you shut your eyes. Then a tiny voice breaks out and asks.
What is happening?
She seems to be confused. Your hands are wrapped around her polyester
What
coat.
is happening?
The fabric feels cold, moist from the sea nearby. The situation is oddly intimate. Your cheek is pressed against her shoulder. Her hand is trapped between your chest. 5 seconds pass, and their passing seems so unimaginably long. Then she coughs and says again,
5 whole six.
What are you doing, officer?
"Less talk, more feeling. Keep your eyes closed.
This is
Soak in the closeness. See what the feeling entails."
I'm fighting for the working
Fighting
class.
for it how?
Hug by hug.
Oh. I guess it's better than nothing. Keep fighting on, my fellow comrade. Is there anything else I can help you with?
No.
The woman before you nods and returns to her reading.
You got something to say about that?
Yes?
Good. Find that. Pick up the dice. Okay. How do we do the inspection? Not that good. He's just laying there.
The rotting man lies on his side with his eyes looking straight through you. His body is supine and open to intrusion by autopsy. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
Try remove the dead
I thought we
members.
decided to leave it to processing.
Oh.
Let's not turn this into some kind of circus.
First, what exactly is a field
Come on,
autopsy?
officer. You know what a field autopsy is. You've done 100 of them.
Have
What
I?
you do know is, at 18.9 kilometers, the dormant shield volcano, Corpus Mundi, is the world's highest summit, and the failure of the 38 single, Et puis descend, to crack the top 20 was the death knell of disco. But what a field autopsy is, you have no idea.
Awesome. You have another pair of gloves?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay, I'll take it. I have
They are better than
those
nothing.
gloves. Yeah, I have the guardian
Tell you
gloves.
what, I perform the anatomical side of things, while you will take notes.
Okay.
In your paperwork, officer, just fill out the field autopsy form.
I think I've lost my
Now
paperwork.
they only have one paperwork too.
Shut up, Kunois.
Officer, what haven't you lost?
None of your business, Kim.
Losing your paperwork is not a small issue. I'm sorry if I came off as patronizing. I can give you my paperwork. There's an autopsy form there. Several, actually, but only if it helps move things along.
Let's work off
Right.
yours.
The autopsy form is near the end.
The dead man stares in silence as you crack open the ledger. The bright red paper is covered in boxes and lists, describing the condition of his skin and organs in 3 parts.
Ew.
Above those, an 11-field info form needs filling out first. It begins with,
1.
That's you.
Okay. Harry Dubois.
the corpse is indifferent to your scribblings, just lies there. The next box says,
Coroner's case.
KK57-0803.0815.
Okay.
Next,
Name.
NA. Next,
Date of birth.
NA.
Age.
Roughly 50.
dry 40. The damage is so extensive, it's better to err on the young side.
I'm gonna write 42.
He nods.
Race.
Mondial.
Fair to olive-skinned, from the isola of Mundi. This is as vague as it gets. You might as well say whitish. The pudgy mess of curdled meat looks
Don't-
neither mondial nor anything other.
Not curdled meat. How dare he say that? I am appalled on multiple levels by that. Sex.
Fucky!
You're real stupid.
Male.
Pigs can have sex?
Nor does he look male, with his pregnant belly and indistinguishable face.
Okay, sir. Date of birth.
We're still going
Date
with
of
March
death, I'm
4th.
sorry.
51.
04, 03,
What else?
51.
9. Body identified by is non-applicable. 10. Case number is the same as the coroner's case.
KK57 0503 0815 listens motionless, with the cargo belt still around his neck. Only one box remains.
Evidence of treatment.
None. At least not after the initial examination.
And what is it treatment?
Interfering with the body's position or wounds post-mortem.
I'm not sure. Didn't the footprints look like he was carried
They'd
over?
have to have incapacitated and carried him over. This man was more than a match for untrained dock walkers.
Your central nervous system recognizes this gesture. It's the stations of the breath.
Huh?
Ecclesiastic, religious in nature, a holdout from pre-Delorian burial rites. It takes him 2 seconds to perform. Then, somewhere in Jamrock
What
North,
the fuck?
a small wood shed behind Rosencrantz Row, Lieutenant Nick Feuerbach puts his hand to the chest of a small corpse, no larger than a monkey. It's raining outside, light drizzle. There is darkness in the shed.
What?
Elsewhere yet, an obese female sits in a wicker chair,
That's me.
her silhouette bull-like against the window. Outside, Grand Coudon. The day is turning dim for Sergeant Mac Dawson. Hand extended, he approaches, to make sure she is dead more than anything else.
Oh.
And so, all across Jamrock, Coal City, GRIH, 42 deceased persons found today. 42 stations of breath.
We should start the post-mortem.
The corpse cannot
That's
feel Kim's hand on
craziness.
his chest. It no longer meaningfully interacts with its surroundings. A thicket of boxes and lists on red copier paper tries to answer why.
Clothes.
External
The deceased wears armored boots
examination.
and white briefs. The make of the briefs is Babrodine, I think. Let's see.
Babrodine.
See, it's happening.
Babrodine, yes. Inexpensive. Size M. Color white.
The disappointment is palpable. The red-haired thing was expecting something more lurid.
I hate these children. Is that wrong to say that I hate children? But these menace to society, I just hate them.
The rest of the clothes have been removed post-mortem by scavengers in order to get to the victim's ceramic armor. Officers are in search of the missing pieces. Removal of the boots is left for processing.
It would be clever of you to omit the boots altogether, sire. If you are to keep
Oh,
them for yourself,
God.
as you ought to, you
I
have
ought to?
deserved them more than anyone else.
I'm gonna
The
write
boot
it down.
has a serial number.
I don't need the
It's
boots.
E50.100.100. The lines between the plates are in the shape of the alphanumerical. The number is purposefully concealed by the design. Tattoos.
Yes, the tattoos we don't know anything about.
The upper torso is covered in a single continuous tattoo, resembling a national pattern. It reaches from the right shoulder to the heart. The ink is blue and white. The assistant has a color photograph of the markings, to be added to the case files as document A1. The photo is taken on the scene, using a Trigat Mini. The deceased has a belt for airlifting cargo around his neck, tied with a hangman's knot. Color, yellow. Length, 3 meters. There is a buckle on the other end. Well-nourished, athletically built, measuring 1.8 meters. Generally consistent with age 42. Preservation is good. Ambient temperature, below freezing.
I don't know what 1.8 meters is, but average height, I assume?
Body hair is light brown. Distribution is consistent with age. The deceased had male pattern baldness. Hair is combed back, short.
His hair feels
I'm
wet,
touching his hair.
soaked with rain, cold to touch. Not that different from a living person after a swim. The stench is suffocating. Strands of dark brown hair start sticking to your hand,
Ew.
like thread off a rag doll's head.
But I have to keep patting.
More hair sticks to your hand. Hair off the rain-soaked head of a dead man. There are bumps and dips on the skull below.
Ew.
An alien landscape.
Lividity is consistent with
Gross.
hanging. The head is congested. Contusions are present on the head, chest, and thighs, consistent with stones thrown post-mortem. Low velocity.
Fucking low velocity.
Yeah.
You think Kuno doesn't know what you're talking about? Velocity was fucking max.
It wasn't. You're a wimp.
Talking shit about Kuno's velocity.
You suck.
In addition, there are bite marks on the face, scalp, and chest, consistent with predation. Ligature mark.
No, he gets nothing. Ligature marks. Ooh.
The steel wiring. There's too much of it. We need to remove the belt so we can get to the ligature mark.
You got just the right tool for that. The chain cutters.
I came prepared. Pull out the rubber gripped cutters.
The hanged man lets out a joyous little bubble of rot from his nose.
Ew.
Always good to think ahead. Now, we need to cut the belt to see the ligature mark below. Carefully, with as much precision as you can.
See, my pig is gonna fuck his head off.
No, he ain't. Your pig's a boring fuck.
Look for a good spot to
The
cut.
belt is equally tight around the whole circumference of his neck, swelling over the edges like white bread rising from the yeast.
I'm not your pig,
You are?
Kuno.
You're Kuno's pig?
Oh, shit. Stupid argument with Kudo made it less? Are you serious? That's fucked up, dude.
You jam the cutters right under the knot. That seems like a smart idea. Yeah, somewhere there.
Oh my
Already,
god.
they're buried deep in the man's flesh. Then you rotate them to get a better hold. Then
Rotate
a
some more.
really bad smell is coming from there now. And some kind of cracking sound.
Yeah, fuck him! Fuck that faggoty! Corpse fucking time!
Told you my pig was hardcore.
I should have a go first. I think I have a strategy.
Let him work.
He sinks the cutters into the knot, preparing to perform the cuts, with his elbow to his knee for precision. Snap. The knot is slashed. Another cut and the belt falls apart like a flower bouquet, revealing the dead man's neck and the dark red ligature mark around it.
Here. The rope rises to a point, leaving a gap in the ligature mark. The suspension point is in the back of the neck, on the nape. Hemorrhaging is observed on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. The mark is well pronounced, consistent with a drop from 1 or 1.5 meters. Chest is intact, normal contour. Abdomen is protuberant. Pelvis
I don't know
intact.
what that means.
Genitalia.
No! It's gonna happen, see!
I fucking knew it!
Shut up.
Genitalia is male and unremarkable. No evidence of injury.
Okay.
Back is
I
symmetrical
don't need to look
and
at his
intact.
dick.
Upper and lower extremities are intact, but asymmetrical. There are combat injuries on the right hand, thigh, and hip. In addition, I see smaller, residual scars, too numerous to count, covering about 30% of his skin.
Why?
From wounds sustained over 2, maybe more decades, dispersal and accumulation indicates long and active combat duty.
The scars is extensive, way more than law officials.
We have a real museum here. Of battles, wars. Last item, hands.
Pick up the hand.
His flesh is cold, icy.
Pleased to meet you. Where are you from and what's your name?
My name
I'm
is...
only fucking with you. I know where you're from. From Cappadocia. And your name is Il Corbo. What can I do you for, Il Corbo de Cappadocia?
It's good to hold your hand. Did you like it when I stroked your hair?
I did, Kobo. I did. Reminded me of when I was just a small boy, before this happened to my face and my body. You did me a kindness there. We should do this more often. Be close like this, I mean.
Oh.
Hands are clean. No sign of injury from struggling.
Were you expecting any?
I was. Maybe I'm just not seeing them. Honestly, this stench is making it hard for me to think at the moment. Ooh. That's all for the external. Well done.
Oh my god.
What next?
Tell me something, dead
Shoot, Looney Rooney. Come back later, Corpo.
man. Oh, we've already done it.
Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori features. If possible, also, see me in your dreams.
Well, I'm having nightmares after that. For what reason did he need to say it like that? That's a... and I'm trying to do you a favor, my dog. No need to put in the scaries for that. Internal
Central
examination.
nervous system. I have nothing. Do you have anything on this man's central nervous system?
Of course, there is a moral to be drawn from it. A moral to this story.
If I may add, a moral of this
What
story.
would that be?
The dead man looks, too, with barely contained excitement to hear the moral of his story.
The brain is very vulnerable to compromises in the blood supply.
I think that may well be the moral of every story, officer. Good. Musculoskeletal. Purge fluid is coming from the mouth. Not injury related.
Purge fluid.
Eyes and tongue protuberant. Hyoid bone. Let's see.
With his eyes almost closed, the lieutenant puts his hand on the dead man's throat and begins to massage it, gently. A rotting smell erupts from the mouth. Purge fluid runs down his lips, black and viscous.
Sir!
You hear cracks as the lieutenant moves his sharp fingers inside the flesh, like the creaking of an old house at night.
What?
Yeah, jack that fucker off!
Shut up!
The hyoid bone is fractured. The rest of the musculoskeletal system is intact. Unremarkable. Respiratory system. Oral cavity shows no lesions. The victim has received dental implants, possibly after a combat wound. Mouth swollen. Hemorrhaging present in mucosa of the lips and mouth.
I'm gonna look inside.
No scream, no sigh of relief rises from the darkness inside. It's humid there. Sickly sweet air, unlike anything living.
Oh,
you feel like you're
God.
about to throw up again, straight in that mouth of his.
I gotta look deeper.
It's hard. Once more, you taste stomach acid in the back of your throat. A contraction. Your throat pumps a little something from your stomach and into your mouth. You're forced to swallow, just to keep looking. Inside, you see darkness. Just a mess of meat and darkness.
Not me.
There are ancient mysteries down there, Kobo. Ask me later.
Hemorrhaging present in mucus.
Ugh. I'll just write that down.
Hepatobiliary. Na.
What? We don't have any?
Are you a hepatobiliary expert?
I don't even know what that is. I don't think so.
Neither am I.
That's
it.
Okay. I don't
Same
even know
for
what that is.
toxicology and serology. Na.
Both?
Unless you have untapped reservoirs of knowledge there.
The completionist me wonders if there's something we could still
Like a
do.
toxicology screening. At this stage, I doubt processing will find anything, even if he was brimming with cocaine. But still, you should add a request.
I'm going to.
Cardiovascular. The body exhibits heavy lividity.
Muscular.
Blood has gathered in the hands, feet, and neck. Hypostasis is visually consistent with the hanging. Gastrointestinal.
Mm-hmm.
Digested
stomach?
semi-solid food in stomach. Voila.
He touches the corpse's bloated lower abdomen briefly. I'm gonna keep the VOA.
What's next on the list?
You find a moment as the lieutenant inspects the dead man's fingernails.
Ew.
Just a few glances. The pages are filled with a bulky freehand that's nearly illegible.
Try to read
It's
it.
very hard to draw conclusions. All you can make out is that he is in a hurry to solve the case. The tempo of the handwriting says as much, and that there are a lot of notes in there. Most of them are made prior to arriving at the scene, in preparation. It's not spelled out explicitly,
Okay.
but the lieutenant fears a tear is forming between the liberal moralist establishment of Revachol and her populist citizenry.
Okay.
This populist force, a potpourri of far right and left, is exemplified in the Débardeurs Union. Their strike, if allowed to escalate into violence, adds to the growing sense of civil war in the city. He's extremely neutral, even in his notes. But avoiding this escalation is Kim's primary concern when dealing with the situation in Martinaise.
Also, what is happening here? I have all these, right? Okay. And what's in here? We can level up 2 things, but I don't know what we would level up. Just looking. Endurance might be one. I think endurance. I don't know if we need a pain threshold. I don't know what that does. Shrug off pain. They'll have to hurt you more. Don't let the world take the blow. Search something about you.
Maybe you're imagining it, but there are some remarks in there, and they're not all negative.
Oh, not all of them?
You're referred to as the 41st by your station number. And
what?
And the 41st comes off as a moderately competent detective. Maybe you are a moderately competent detective.
What?
Injuries.
Let's see. We have bite marks, contusions on the head and chest, and a ligature mark encircling the neck. You'll need 3 fields. Leave a 4th one too.
What about the injuries we have inflicted?
So we inflicted them?
This is a
You
team
mean the
effort.
incision on the thorax from a chain cutter? That was not a team effort, and I wouldn't mention it. Muddies the water.
Isn't that
Be
sloppy?
pedantic if you like, it doesn't matter. No one else is going to investigate this man's murder. And if they do, such details would only confuse them.
See? These pigs are fucking corrupt.
Why don't you fuck him if you love him so much?
Now, injuries.
Bite marks.
Head, chest, and scalp bite mark injuries.
Somewhat.
Predation by birds has
Okay.
caused damage to the body. Odontologist does not need to be consulted. And your opinion, officer?
Non-fatal.
Agreed.
Post-mortem.
Next injury?
Contusions.
So, the scalp bleeds from a post-mortem head injury, a stone. The injury does not have the rim of an early inflammatory response. The perpetrator on the scene has confessed to causing it post-mortem.
True.
At maximum velocity, fucko!
No.
Has confessed to causing it at maximum velocity.
Coagulated blood sticks to
Ew.
his scalp and chest, where the countless stones have hit the dead man. Beneath the description of injury, 2 boxes.
Non-fatal.
Next,
Ligament mark.
a dark red abraded ligature mark encircling the neck, with a gap on the nape measuring, let's say, 7 centimeters. The hyoid bone is fractured, the cervical column intact. I see hemorrhaging on the skin, above
Okay.
and below the ligature mark. Depth of the mark, 1 centimeter. No signs of clawing on the neck.
Below the note, 2 customary boxes wait to be ticked. The man's head jerks to the side. The ring around his neck is visible.
I see hemorrhaging on the skin above and below the ligature marks. A depth of the mark. No signs of clawing on the neck. Was the man passed out or dead before they hung him? Or was he just passed out? Because there's no signs of clawing on the neck. Wouldn't he, like, try to claw and try to get it off of him? I think that's post-mortem, my dude. I think he was dead before they hung him. I'm gonna say non-fatal.
Why do you say that?
I don't think it was this injury that killed him.
Okay. Why don't you think it was fatal?
Why weren't his hands tied? A big man like this, they would have tied his hands when marching him here. There's no reason. And yeah,
Honestly, I'm not sure there weren't marks on his wrist. That part got blurry for me. The stench. But you are right, I was ready to call this. Now I think we should leave it empty, at least for the time being. Let's wrap this up. I
Okay.
pronounce this field autopsy over.
how'd it go?
It was an irregular field autopsy. We did not establish cause of death, which is supposed to be the goal of an autopsy. But, personally, I do not see this as a parameter for success. We also requested a toxicological screening. That was thorough. The results should arrive in a couple of weeks, if we are lucky. I will not hold my breath.
What else?
We were thorough with the list of injuries, too. We described them all in detail. What is there to say? Given the circumstances, it was a professional field autopsy.
I'm seeing how close we are to leveling up again. We're pretty close to leveling up again. Okay. What now?
Now we put him in a body bag and I drive him to Forborg for processing.
The lieutenant looks at the dead man one more time, then at his notebook, then at the corpse again. I'm sure we didn't get everything. There's always something.
Where's perception? I don't have perception, logic, rhetoric, drama, calculus, visual calculus. I have 5 perception, and that still doesn't work. Let me see. Didn't establish a probable cause. This is a white check mark. You may retry it. Let me leave real quick. He's not gonna take it yet, so if anyone, anything, help me. My perception +1 there. Anything with perception. I don't have anything with perception. Yes.
Jamais vu.
Oh.
Derealization. Jamais vu. The opposite of déjà vu.
It's a very good
Not
song.
already seen, but never seen. Everything that should be familiar appears strange and new, like some half-forgotten day in your childhood. Only now. That's the feeling you've been having. And for who knows how long. You should go and ask Joyce Messier about this. What world are we in? This is a fundamental question.
1 XP for every orb clicked. All intelligence learning caps raised by 1. Well, I need my perception up. I think that's important, so we're not gonna let him place it. How do we get up there? Hold on. Let's go in here real quick. There's these motherfuckers still in here too, right? Yeah. This dumb bitch. Let me go upstairs real quick.
The door is closed.
Okay. No, she was in this room.
The door is closed.
I can't break in?
The door is closed. This door, still nothing. The lieutenant gives you a quick glance. Still, the lieutenant gives.
So how would we get up there then? Is my question. And we still need to go find something about this door down there. We don't have enough money to pay for our night stay. There's also that. So we're not going to do anything with the corpse yet. Kim's not taking the corpse. Kim's not taking it. He's not taking it. I can't allow it to happen. He doesn't need to take it. Is there anything we can do here?
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
Nope. Okay. Oh wait, I didn't check.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the...
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Yeah, have you heard back about that serial number?
The armor was produced by Fairweather in their facilities in Bétancourt, sur la Clé in 42. It was part of a special order for Corps de Pharmacie, a security firm contracted to protect the interests of Oranese pharmaceutical companies in the Semenine conflict. So, it seems the armor went to Semenine. That's where the paper trail ends, though. Even the firm has proven difficult to track. Corps de Pharmacie has been renamed several times over in the years since the armor was issued.
Do you know what it's called now?
The most recently registered firm that the ICP has been able to connect to the CDP is a military contractor called Trinell, and the one before it was Downwell. I think they might be the same contractor.
A suit of armor like this would have been manufactured with a particular person's physique in mind. You should ask for whom this suit was fitted.
First, have the firm continue to work for the pharmaceutical companies through all the same changes. Yeah, the suit of armor, there must be a record for the person whom it was
Yes,
issued.
but the ICP tends to be reluctant to share private sector records. I could try to talk them into it, though.
Do that.
This is a fun challenge for her. An opportunity to contribute beyond doing her job by rote. She'll gladly put in the extra effort for Team RCM.
Yes, thank you.
Glad to help. Call back tomorrow. Hopefully I'll have more for you then.
Okay.
57's over and out.
In the cabin.
Okay. Well, let's try, because that was a white marker before we end this episode, to do this once, because it's a white marker.
The man is the lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath. You run your hands over the victim's cold body, his limbs, his torso with its swollen organs. Maybe you should be more thorough.
Look at his pants
He
again.
pulled down his breeches. Marbling is present around the crotch. The penis has shrunk, crawling halfway back inside him. There is nothing mysterious or noteworthy here.
Can't get enough of that dick.
Do you think we missed something?
You can't shake the feeling that there are more secrets concealed in the flesh before you.
There's something we're not seeing.
Okay, well, we are in livor mortis here. He is disintegrating. We need to refrigerate the body if we want to conduct another examination, and we need to do it fast. Hey, wasn't there a giant
the
ice bear
bear!
sarcophagus below that building?
Yes,
No,
Ice Bear.
that's an overstatement. It's not actually for storing cadavers, or at least I hope so. I think we should take a look at it first. Make sure it's big enough before we carry him over. Let's move. With every hour, whatever we are looking for in the deceased will become harder to find.
Sickening. Okay, so we don't have to bag him up. And we can take him to the bear fridge. So that's what we're going to do in the next episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this disgusting, frightening episode of Disco Elysium, because I sure did. If you have any comments or questions or any tips that I probably won't see, or just anything to say to me, feel free to leave it below, and I will see you next time. Y'all have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.